Today I'm going to talk about the changes that Erin Condren has made to the Daily Duo yet again and discuss why I'm coming back to it after being away from it for a year. But first, if you're new, hey, my name is Lauren, and on my channel I like to talk about the planners and journals I use to keep my mind calm. So the Daily Duo from Erin Condren is called the Daily Duo because it is split up into 2 books, hence Duo, 6 months, 6 months. This one is the one that I'm going to start using first because this is the one that starts in July of 2026. Every life planner comes with a little packet, and inside you get 2 postcards. This is what the other side looks like. And on the other side of this is a card that has a 20% off coupon. Plus it gives you a dual tip marker. Mine happens to be in black. I want to say as the year goes on, if they run out of black, they sub this out with different colors because that's what I have seen happen. But I could be wrong. Maybe they've corrected that. But I do have over here a set of 12 dual tip markers that match the months of the tabs for this design that I picked, which is in this Toile floral theme. This cover that's on here, actually I didn't purchase it with this. This is something I had in my stash, I guess you could say. It was on a A5 journal that I think it was like a self-care planner or something like that. That's where this cover came from, and it is in a design from last year, or the year before last year, called the Bold Blooms. It says make yourself a priority. So I put that on here because in my opinion the color tabs for this year match like very well with like the way Bold Blooms was, in my opinion. So I will show you towards the end, after I flip through the daily, we'll do a pen test of these, and I'll hold them next to the color that's actually on the pages themselves in here, because the Daily Duo does have a little bit of color on the pages themselves, and it alternates every month. Oh, and before I forget, it does come with a snap-in stencil bookmark. I had taken mine off already because I already started to try and move in a little bit. It is honestly a pain in the butt to snap in and out because there's really nothing to grab, but that's just me. I know a lot of people love using this because they love using stencils. I'm just not a stencil girly, so it's not really a bonus to me that they had changed this a few years ago, but you do get this with the planner. Okay, let me move this one over. So every life planner has a vellum sheet in the beginning to protect the cover page. I know in the past this has been designed, and now that it's not, some people have chosen to use this to decorate. It, to me, adds no value whatsoever. It's just extra. You tell me, what are your ideas for how to use this? To me, it's not functional. I'm a very much of like a functional person, and to me, there's no function in this whatsoever. This is so cute. I wish they had a cover that had this on it that looked exactly like this in these colors and everything, but they don't. July through December. This page, you have 6 boxes here. It says steady effort turns intention into reality. There's color here, but these lines are all gray. So the year on here, let me bring this up now because I'm going to forget to mention it over here, because both of these books are exactly the same. The only difference is going to be this year page, and obviously this one says January, but this is like my only gripe about the daily planner that I wish that they would change. I don't have a problem with the layout of this. What I do have a problem with is the way these are numbered. So you'll see this is July 2026 to December 2026. And then when you flip it, it's January 2027, the whole calendar year to December 2027. This is fine. This works perfect. However, when you use this one, you have January 2027 to June 2027. And then when you flip it, it takes you to 2028, all of 2028. You literally do not have the rest of the calendar. It's like you don't have the rest of this year. So what I've done in the past is once I've moved into this one, I've clipped this out and stuck this in here so that I could like have the full calendar year, since this is not the whole year at all. And in my opinion, it's almost like, no, not that it's almost more important. It literally is important. Like, that's the reason this is set up this way. It's important for you to be able to have those dates to reference. If this is the only planner you are using and you're using this until the end of June, what if you start having appointments to schedule in the second half of 2027 and you don't have the rest of the 2027 to look at? You only have 2028. Like, this doesn't make sense to me at all. I really do not get it. And Erin Condren really needs to fix this. I don't know if they're going to watch this, but they really need to fix this. And I honestly, personally have had this issue for a while, and I've never complained about it because every time I do those surveys, I forget. So someone please remind me when survey time comes. If you remember and you want to send me like a DM, be like, hey Lauren, remember you complained about this? Like, remind me, please, because honestly, I should remind myself. I should have Siri send me a reminder. But all right, enough about that because I probably rambled too long about it. I did purchase this for myself, by the way. I was not sent this. I am an affiliate for Erin Condren, but they did not send me anything. I purchased all of the stuff on my own. So what are these called? Tab pages, I guess was what people call them, right before you get to the calendar page. These are all decorated with cute scenes surrounded by a bunch of florals. And then in the center, there's some sort of quote. And the colors change. Every single month has a different unique color to it. Unfortunately, the July color is not my favorite of greens. So you won't see it here because I already covered up, like literally yesterday I covered this, and then I realized just now, maybe I should have waited until after I did this video, but it's fine. Let me show you a different one. This is what August looks like, and honestly, August is not that much different of a color in green. It's not too far off, but if I flip to here, you can kind of see this is what July color is. So it's like a very muted green. And if you look, this actually doesn't even really match the tab itself for July. Let me see, it's August. And August doesn't either. This is darker. This is a little bit lighter. So it's almost, I feel like we were told that there's like two different colors going on in the printing of this. There's like a darker shade and then a lighter shade. When we do the coloring of the pen tests, you'll see how close it matches the color that's on the pages. So every life planner has this page. A lot of people call it the dashboard page, but I want to say Erin Condren officially calls it a productivity page. And one of the changes they made this year was they added an extra dot, and instead of 3, there's 4 now. That's the only change they made from last time. But the rest is still the same. You've got your to-do list, and then this section down here is just blank. Well, it's lined. There's no heading space like this. There's no check boxes or check circles, whatever. There's nothing there. Let me know what you do with this because I'm always looking for ideas, because I struggle with using this page. This page is lined, and this color is always going to alternate for the month. And then you jump into the daily pages. These are the new formatted snap-in bookmarks. This is just one of them. Let's see, I have another one here. And then there's a pink one. The pink one's already in one of my other planners. But the back has a solid color, and they've taken away the marking that says Erin Condren on it, which is cool because if you wanted to, you can flip it and use it the opposite way. If you don't want like to have a tab sticking out the top, you can do it sticking out the bottom, and it won't be weird because you won't have something flipped upside down in words. That has always bothered me. That's why I've never tried to use the tabs on the bottom. I had purchased those when I got my weekly planner, which I purchased my weekly planner around launch, a couple days after launch. And then this one I waited until the academic planner launched because I was purchasing an academic planner for my daughter, and I wanted to purchase this at the same time as I purchased that. And I got lucky that they actually started like a Memorial Day sale at the same time, so I got a discount on this. Plus I used a 20% off coupon code that I received when I purchased my weekly life planner, so I didn't pay full price. I didn't have to. And honestly, you shouldn't have to ever pay full price for this. Erin Condren has sales very regularly, so I always recommend you wait for a sale. This is the only color that's on the daily page, and it alternates every month. You do have nice big font with the number and nice bold, readable, clean font choices here, which is a little bit different from they've done in the past. This year, all of these fonts are the same across all the designs, whether you get like Legacy, which is a colorful one, or if you get this one, the Toile, or if you get the minimal, which, let me note, this is an A5 size, and for some reason Erin Condren does not make the minimal design in the A5 size. So if you want the minimal Daily Duo, you have to get a 7x9. The format is really simple. It's just your timestamps here, and then you have a to-do list here, and this is 13 lines. And I will say this, whether or not you receive the 7x9 or you get the A5 size, you are getting the same number of lines. It's going to go from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. and you're going to have a blank box. You're going to have the same number of lines here. The difference is just going to be the line spacing. So the line spacing here is just a little bit smaller. Let me see. It looks like it's 6 centimeters, 5 or 6 centimeters. And then in the weekly planner, I just measured a line in the weekly planner, and that's 7 centimeters. I want to say the lines in the weekly planner are going to be the same as what you would get here in the Daily Duo. And I'm almost certain of this because I did the first time I purchased a Daily Duo. Was it the first time I purchased a Daily Duo? I bought it in a 7x9 size. I remember whenever I switched to using a A5, I noticed that the line spacing was a little bit smaller, which I'm not mad about. This is actually a really good line spacing in my opinion. I think that the line spacing in the 7x9 is just a little bit too, is like, I don't want to say it's too wide. It's better for people who write bigger. Okay, so if you write bigger, you might prefer to have the 7x9 size. The line spacing here, you might feel like it's a little bit. So the way this flows is the same as before. You have the daily pages, and you see I decorated for the 4th of July. After the Sunday, you will have a lined page here, and then you have a weekly page. The way this used to be is there was a lined, how was it? It was a lined page here that would look exactly like this. It would be over here. And then there would be a week page here. And the way the week was formatted, it was in this fashion, like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And every day had the same spacing. This is obviously way more structured, and it's actually dated. The previous version was not dated, which they told us was so that we can use it how we wanted to. And it always kind of bothered me that I would have to date those whenever I was using that version of the Daily Duo the last time I had one. So I like that they have decided to give you the week. Now, I will say, this is the first week that comes in this planner. So while you will be able to start planning the 1st of July, which is a Wednesday, you won't be able to do a weekly view until you get to the 6th of July. Let me look at the January start, because you can purchase this planner. Right now you can purchase it, either you can buy like the July start, which starts here in 2026 July, and you'll get these 2 books. Or if you're a calendar year person, you can get like a January, which you'll get January, the first 6 months of 2027 in this book, and then you'll have a different book that has the rest of the year. So this one, let's see, this one will start obviously on the 1st, and then the first week that you actually have in here is the 4th, starting the 4th. Of course, let me make sure, because that would be weird if they didn't have it. Let me make sure in the back. Thursday, Wednesday, Okay, so here's where you have the week that bleeds from December to January. It's right here in this book instead of the next one. My thought process is that Erin Condren needs to do better about this because, in my opinion, if you are wanting a true all-in-one daily and weekly planner, which is kind of what this is trying to fill a need for, then you should at least offer the beginning of like a true beginning. So there should, in my opinion, there should actually be a week spread that would be including January 1st, the actual January 1st date. And the same here with in July, that there should be a week that actually includes it. Now, look, this is a chunky monkey. So for them to add one more page or two more pages or however they want to do it, I don't know if they would want to also include the days leading up to it, because I think that might be a bit much, but at least include the week leading up to it. You know what I mean? Because not everybody is going to have purchased it from the year before, especially if they're like a new person to either the brand or they didn't have a planner before, whatever the case may be. I think a planner should actually be fully complete. And this to me is not complete when you're not including the beginning. Wow, I feel like this entire video is coming across as very negative. I don't mean to be. I am just stating my thoughts on the changes that I think need to happen. Erin Condren needs to do a little bit better. Am I glad that they've morphed this? I suppose so, because according to them, this layout was very popular last year because this is a new layout. They call it the dashboard layout. It only came out in a 7x9 size. You can now get just this weekly planner. If you don't want daily pages, you can get just the weekly planner in an A5 size if that's what you want. So if you like this, but you're like, Lauren, I don't want the daily pages, you can literally buy this an A5 portable size, which to me, this is actually a really cute size. I did use the 7x9 dashboard layout last year for about 7 months, 8 months, something like that. I started it early and I always struggled with this page. So I don't know. Actually, you know what? I just realized this has been covered the whole time. I just had that sticky note there to mark where the week was. But there's 6 habit trackers here. No color on this page at all. It's just gray. And these lines have the color on it. I used to always use this box right here to say next week. And I'd list a couple of things that were happening next week so I can kind of have my headspace, especially if something's happening like Monday, Tuesday early and I need to kind of mentally be ahead of it and not just like turn the page and be like, oh my God, all this stuff is happening. You know, I'm already like mentally prepared. That's the word I'm looking for, mentally prepared. All right, let me put this back. So the layout goes like that, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I always recommend that when you receive an Erin Condren planner, especially the Daily Duo, that you look through and make sure you have all your pages. I already checked these and everything's good. I think I checked them. I'm pretty sure I remember checking them. So the entire month of July is having this green color, and then at the end of the month, it only has all the 30 days in here. So that week is always like before the days. So you're going to have to, if you're going to use it like daily pages, weekly pages, you'll have to make sure you reference the week. I mean, you can use one of these, or you can use, you saw the sticky note I had on there to tab it. Start for July. The tab pages always go straight to this, which is one of the things I love about Erin Condren. It is only a Sunday start. You have to be okay with that. And then for me in my brain, I need this calendar to be a Sunday start. But when it comes to the weeks, I've gotten very used to it being a Monday start on the weeks. So it doesn't bother me that they don't match. So let me get you to, so you can see these in case you want to see them. The colors change, and these are not seasonal. The scenes in them are a little bit seasonal. Like this has a little bit of a winter scene here. And the holidays are printed on here. Like Hanukkah's on here, Christmas. And at the very back, there are no extra notes pages because technically you have like a notes page every week in addition to having a weekly spread. So there are notes pages dispersed, including like this page here. You have this one at the beginning. Every month you have this, and then at the end of the month, you always have like a notes page, which this one doesn't show it like that. It just shows the notes, but like this. See what I mean? Right before you get to this, you'll have this. Over here, it just happens to say notes, and then you actually have an extra one right here, and then you have the stickers that come with it. So these stickers, I think there's only 2 sheets or 4 sheets. I think there's only 2 sheets. Yeah, there's only 2 sheets. And these colors look like, yeah, they go with this is January, February, March, April, May. No, 2 colors for each month. January, February, March. Nope. I'm trying to figure out how they have these colors. This one definitely looks like July and August, but then they have extra green in there. I don't know. Because in my weekly planner, the colors, it actually makes sense. You also have a pocket back here. It's double-sided. It's a really good sturdy pocket. It's got a protective coat on it, so it's not a paper. It doesn't feel like paper. I don't want to say it feels like plastic either. It's like a coated cardstock. And then the back cover. And these are designed so that you can write on them. There's lines on this. And in the front, it's structured a little bit different too. It's kind of almost like a dashboard. I never use this. I'm actually thinking about using a notepad, like a sheet from a notepad, and sticking it on here and using that as like an extra place to take note of things. So that's always a good idea. You can use something like this removable adhesive. This is a Tombow one, and put it on the paper and so that can stick there, and then whenever you're done with it, you don't need it anymore, you can pull it out easily and it's fine. I think they also make, I've never had one, but I know Kristen Kramer has mentioned this before. There's a product that you can use, it's like a glue stick almost, and it turns any paper into like a sticky note. So you could use it on something that's not sticky. Since the Erin Condren notepads aren't sticky notes, you can turn that into a sticky note by using what looks like a glue stick and rubbing some of that onto it and then sticking it wherever you want, and then it's repositionable wherever you want to put it, which is cool. So that's this one. Let me show you the colors in here, and then we can do the pen test. So for January, and then February, and don't worry, whenever we do the pen test, I'll show you like every single, well, not every single, but I'll show you what the lines look like on the inside, because I know just looking at this isn't necessarily going to tell you what the color is on the inside, because like this one is so yellow. Like look how, I don't know if it's coming across on camera or not, but look how yellow this is compared to this. This is so yellow compared to that. And the tab itself, so there's like 2 colors. There's like a dark, and then there's the yellow. So okay, I got an aligned page over here ready to do this. I'm going to start with July because we're in the middle of the year. And I'm going to write with both sides. And I know that these have colors, their names on them, and this one's called Basil, but I'm not going to write the name of the color. I'm just going to write what like month it belongs to, and then I'm going to use the fine one too. This one's Olive. This one, Powder Blue. Well, that was weird. Uh-oh, does dry out? No way. I've already tested this. My pen stopped working. I'm gonna have to contact Erin Condren already. That shouldn't have happened. What? Wow. All right, let me leave this here for a minute. Maybe that'll do something. September, October. I've never had a marker, a dual tip do that before. What color is this? This is denim, I think. Yeah. I like this color. It's kind of like a gray, honestly. It's like a blue-gray color. November. What is this? Steel blue. It almost feels like a navy. December. I think this is called Heather. And then, what's this? January, Wisteria. Oh, that was a weird squiggly line. In February, Dusty Rose. Lipstick. And then, I think, yeah, Terracotta. April. Which this Terracotta and the Heather, although, okay, the names were the same from the Bold Blooms, because I have the Bold Blooms highlighters, and I don't think the Heather color is the same as that one, but that Terracotta one looks the same. I haven't even compared it. That would be interesting. I'm going to do that here in a minute too. Desert. May. Then June. We've made it to the end. June. Okay. Let me see if I can get this to right now. September. Nope. What the heck? That is extremely disappointing. How in the world? That makes no sense to me. September goes here. Okay. Let me also write these. This one. There was 6 of them. I think this one and this pink one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think these were the Bold Bloom colors, because I also have a set that these I think were the canvas colors. But these look like these were the Bold Blooms one. And these are dual tips, and they feel like the same barrel. They look like the same, just doesn't have designs on it. And this is chiseled on one side. They don't have this right now, but it's very possible they might just magically appear on the website one day, like during a sale. Petal pink. And this just has like, these tips are so much more thick than these tips are. Oh, I was gonna write. What's this called? And my tips are all kind of messed up. Moss. What's this called? Marigold. How do I spell marigold? And this one's the one I wanted to say is called Terracotta. And I think this is the same as the April. That definitely looks the same. What's this? Ocean. Oops, I wrote it in the wrong spot. That's fine. And the purple. This one's the one I think is called Heather, but yeah, it's definitely not the same Heather, because this is December is the Heather. This one's definitely not that. So the only color that's the same from the Bold Blooms was this terracotta, I want to say. Let me see. If I put this right next to the terracotta, that feels very much the same. Oh, maybe a little bit less dark. I don't know. My eyes could be playing tricks on me. But that looks very much the same. All right, let's see how they look with the pages. So let's see, January. So the January color. Let's see if I can get you zoomed in. That looks really good. Definitely this is darker than this, which is good. So it'll stand out. Let's see, February. February looks very close. There's February. And then March. Like I'm talking if you're going to use the same color to write. If you want to be extra. You could always use like a complementary color too. That March one looks good with it. It's not an exact match, but it does look good. April. Let's see. April probably is the one that is like the most off maybe so far, because this one feels very beige like, and this is very brown, orange, very like a burnt orange. I mean, I don't think it's gonna clash if you write with this next to that. Let's see, May. May is very light. May. Yeah, this is another situation where it's like, I mean, it's not gonna, this is such a neutral color. I don't think any of those markers are gonna clash with it. June. Oh, and for June, I pulled out a week. Let's look at a week. The line is thicker or thinner on the week than it is on here. And June, I mean, this June is more like an orange, or it's more orange yellow than this line. This line is definitely more bright than this one. So it's not really the best in terms of matchy-matchy. Let's see how the rest of the year is. Let's go to July. That's pretty good. That looks good together. August feels like such a dark green, and for them to have called it olive, yeah, this is the color they have on the page, and that's the August. So I don't know. Let me look at the calendar view, because even this, yeah, even this color is like about the same as that. So I thought for a minute maybe that on the month pages it's darker, but not really. September is a pretty blue, and this is definitely, and according to my eyes, this is like off. In my opinion, this looks like a greener blue, and this is very much a more bright blue than this. But I think it's so subtle that I don't think it's going to make, it's not going to be a huge deal necessarily. October. So hopefully after looking at this, you may or may not. That's a really good match. That October is like spot on. After seeing this, you might opt not to get the markers to coordinate, because this one, again, here's a situation where in November, it's on the actual page. Yes, it matches the tab, but it on the page, to me, September goes better here than it did with it's September. So you use whatever color you want. I probably won't use the exact color on these months. I'll probably use something that complements it. Wait, where am I at? December. So December again is a situation where it's like really dark. Like this doesn't even match the tab. And I know purple is a very difficult color to get to match, but yeah, if you have the bold bloom colors, which are highlighters, you probably can get away with using these or these. I didn't even swatch these, so I don't know. I don't know. You tell me what you think about the color choices there. All right, so let me quickly, because this video is already long, explain a little bit about why I'm coming back to using the daily planner after not using it last year. There's kind of like two reasons. One is because I'm shifting a little bit about the way I weekly plan. If you saw my video where I showed the weekly planner that I purchased from launch, in that video I mentioned that I'm going to use it differently than I have in the past, in that I'm going to kind of incorporate a little bit of memory keeping into my weekly planner. Because of that, I am also kind of aware of the fact that I don't like looking at my weekly planner every single day to reference lists and things I need to do and all that stuff, that it's a lot better and less confusing for my brain for me to have a daily page to write down, like, here are the things that are happening this day so I can zero in and focus. The way that I'm intending on using the weekly pages in here is I will likely use this weekly page to just do content planning things, as far as like keeping track of what am I doing. Whenever I say like my content planning stuff, I don't always necessarily plan in advance, especially lately because I haven't been posting videos as frequently. I like to sometimes keep track of what I have been doing, because sometimes I'm like, well, have I been doing anything? And then yes, I have. It just doesn't feel like it, and I have a place to reference it. I have gone back and forth over the years with having one or not. If you look at past stack of videos, you'll see what I mean. For me, this daily planner is going to be like a combination of this area going to be like content planning, and the daily pages being a daily page like I've always used it in the past when I've used my daily planner. I don't know if I will use this as a weekly list. I might not, but we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see what happens, because like I said, this is the first time that I'm using my weekly planner in the way that I'm trying to use it, where it's like, yes, I'm going to map out my week and plan out like this is what's happening, but I'm also incorporating memory keeping, meaning I'm adding kind of little journaling blips in there on the days to record keep memories that I want to look back on, and I hope to keep the planner. Typically when I plan, I just plan and I get rid of it. So it's kind of like me condensing my journaling. What I've tried to do the last couple years is have a daily planner that I use as a journal. And this year I've been using a small A6, actually no, it's a pocket size from Sterling Ink to daily journal. In prior years, I've tried different planners, and I've realized that because I don't fully utilize the space in my weekly planner with all the appointments and to-do lists and a whole bunch of stuff, that I could very easily just do a combination of the two and do away with the separate journaling planner. Because a lot of the times I'm just rewriting some of the things that are already in my planner, which is fine because technically I just said I just get rid of the planner when I'm done with it. So then the journal becomes the thing that I keep. But I want to try this out. I want to try that. And I have also struggled a little bit with not having a daily planner this year. I did start out the year trying to repurpose the pages that I didn't use in the last version of the daily planner that I had purchased, and that was fine for a little while. But eventually I got tired of like how, I don't know what it is about me, but it wasn't, I don't even know how to describe like what the problem was. But it was annoying, like seeing like the whiteout of the dates from before, or like having to handwrite in the dates. I don't know, it just looked messy and not polished. And I've learned this about myself with planning a while ago. It's like I don't like DIY stuff. It ends up, I don't know, I don't like it. So it felt very DIY and chaotic, even though it really wasn't that bad. It just, I don't know, I guess it messed with my mentality and it made me not want to use it. So I basically just didn't use any daily pages for a while. I do have notepads, so if I needed to actually have like daily, I've posted in some of my videos like a daily list pad that was undated that I've used recently, and then I actually just in the last month pulled out the old daily planners that I had to prepare myself for going back to this, because I still had a good number of pages in there that I could use. And so I've already been practicing again using daily pages, and I'm so happy being back in it, just to have a place to just write down this is what I need to do today, and then also just kind of feeling accomplished that yes, these are the things I did today, because I haven't always written every single thing down in my weekly planner of the things that I did, because there's only so much space in there that I could write. And then here there's just so much more space to keep track of all the things that I am doing. So I'm happy that I'm going back into this. The changes that they've made didn't make or break my decision. I just kind of was like, you know what? Let me go back, and it'll be interesting to see how my use of this evolves. I don't know so much about how I'm going to use this, because I use this spread in my main weekly planner This I've found is kind of too tiny to write all the things. I just feel like it's too tiny. I don't want to have to write that small. And I'll probably use this to map out where I posted my YouTube videos and my Instagram posts, because I've done that before in the past. I use like little stickers. And so at a glance, I can kind of see what I've done. So that'll be probably how I do that. But I'm glad to be in here. I feel a little bit at ease. There are other changes. Actually, my entire system starting in July is basically going to be completely different, almost completely different than what I've been doing. So stay tuned for that stack video, because I'm a little apprehensive. Is that the right word? I normally don't make more than one change at a time, because I know that like if I make too many changes, it's overwhelming. So I'm already kind of a little bit overwhelmed in the process of me setting everything up, that I have set up so many different things to start all at once. But I know it's gonna be fine. I will push through it. Everything doesn't need to be all completely set up on day one. I'm pretty sure you've heard me say that before in a previous video. So it is what it is. And I don't regret any of the changes that I'm making, because everything I'm making is, in my opinion, the right move to make, and is supposed to simplify and like make things a little bit easier for me. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. Let me know in the comments. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, so that more people can see it. And if you are not subscribed and you want to see more videos like this, make sure you do that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.